所绘制的幽浮热点，波罗的海我们本来都觉得那是一个平静的峡湾。
那这个地方波罗的海一直到北边到西边这个北海，它其实也是全世界不但是最神秘的地方，而且它是死亡人数最多的地方。很多人讲说这是一个不祥之地，不祥之地。为什么？其实在这个地方，我们知道铁达尼号。
Hello guys. I always wanted to talk about the Baltic Sea Anomaly. It's a case that has been on my mind for some time. It's not necessarily a typical true crime mystery. It's a mysterious object that's located in the Baltic Sea, fairly close to where I live. Maybe this is one of the reasons why I took a keen interest in this topic. On June 19th, 2011, a Swedish team named Ocean X had found a strange feature on the floor of the northern Baltic Sea, at the center of the Gulf of Bothnia. The team, led by divers Peter Lindberg and Dennis Aberg, had been treasure hunting in the Baltic Sea. They had captured a sonar image that showed a disc-shaped object with unusual features of seemingly non-natural origin, resting at a depth of 90 meters. This prompted speculation published in tabloid newspapers that the object might be a sunken UFO. The description of this object, according to the Ocean X team, is that the formation has an appearance of a rough granite, is round 3 to 4 meters thick and approximately 60 meters in diameter, stands on an 8-meter tall pillar-like feature, and is located at a depth of 85 to 90 meters. There is also another smaller object not far away. This object is at the end of what resembles a 300-meter runway. The Ocean X team has published one additional close-up sonar scan on their website and 9 additional close-up sonar scans on their YouTube page that appear to show a 90-degree angle and other features of the object. On their second expedition, they reported that they found something that looks like a staircase and a round black hole that goes directly into the structure. Some online publications compared the sonar image to the Millennial Falcon, a spaceship from Star Wars used by smugglers Han Solo and Chewbacca. The object lies in the waters between Sweden and Finland and looks like a mushroom rising 3 to 4 meters or 10 to 13 feet from the seabed. The main object seems to have straight edges, construction lines, and boxes drawn. The huge mushroom-like top of the object also has cracks filled with an unidentified black material. Many have called it the Giant Stone, portal to the other world, underwater Stonehenge, or strange stone circle formations made by some past civilization. However, a consensus of experts and scientists say that the image most likely shows a natural geological formation. According to the Ocean X team, they returned from an expedition in the Baltic Sea between Sweden and Finland with a blurry but very interesting sonar image while searching for an old shipwreck back in the summer of 2011. According to Ocean X, the image shows a 60-meter in diameter circular object with a height of at least 13 meters. The object's features resemble ramps, stairways, and other structures not produced by nature. The group revisited the site the following year in 2012, intending to get a clearer image, but claimed mysterious electrical interference prevented them to do so. The divers exploring a UFO-shaped object at the bottom of the Baltic Sea said their equipment stops working when they approach within 200 meters of this object. Professional diver Stefan Horgerborn, part of the Ocean X team, said some of the team's cameras and satellite phones would refuse to work when directly above the object, and would only work once they had sailed away. He is quoted as saying, "Anything electric out there, and the satellite phone as well, stopped working when we were above the object. And then when we got away about 200 meters, it turned on again, and when we got back over the object, it didn't work again." The Swedish diving team noted a 985-foot flattened out runway leading up to the object, implying that it skidded along the path before stopping, but no true answers to this are clear. During their second visit to the Baltic Sea Anomaly, the OceanX team confirmed that they had found a second object. Expedition leader Peter Lindberg said, "I confirm that we have found two anomalies. We did find the other anomaly approximately 200 meters from the circular find, and during the same sonar run." Peter Lindberg explained why his team had not released the sonar image of this second object initially. He said, "We decided not to expose that anomaly so much because there is a lot of disturbance on the sonar image when we passed it, so it's very blurry. We can see it's something, but to an untrained eye, it might just look like pea soup." A stone sample recovered by divers was reportedly found to contain limonite and geotite. Israeli geologist Steve Weiner claimed that these materials are metals which nature could not reproduce itself. These samples were also given to Volker Buchert, an associate professor of geology at Stockholm University, who had a more skeptical view. Mr. Volker's analysis of the samples indicated that most are granites, gneisses, and sandstones. Among the samples was also a single loose piece of volcanic rock, which is out of place on the seafloor, but not unusual. He said, "Because the whole northern Baltic region is so heavily influenced by glacial melting processes, both the feature and the rock samples are likely to have formed in connection with glacial and post-glacial processes. Possibly these rocks were transported there by glaciers," Mr. Volker explained. Swedish geologists Fredrik Klimberg and Martin Jakobsen say that the chemical composition of the samples provided resembles that of nodules that are not uncommon in seabeds, and that the materials found including limonite and geotite can indeed be formed by nature itself. The single sonar image that was provided by OceanX of the original anomaly has drawn criticism from a number of sources. Hanuman Singh, a researcher at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, which is the largest independent oceanographic research institution in the United States, has said that the original image that was provided by the OceanX team cannot be trusted because several distortions render it virtually useless for identifying an undersea formation. According to Mr. Sin, the distortions are due to a cheap, inaccurate sonar instrument that was improperly wired and calibrated. OceanX team used an inexpensive sonar technique called side scan sonar, which, although well suited for finding shipwrecks, it is not designed to give a detailed look at the sea floor. Hanuman Singh also said, "If you look carefully, you can see a reflection of the circular formation on the right side of the image. Since side scan sonar is taken with two instruments that bounce acoustic waves in opposite directions from the boat, a feature on one side shouldn't affect the image on the other side. This means you've got crosstalk, in which one channel is electrically contaminating the other." Sin says, in other words, the sonar instruments aren't wired properly. Also, the black horizontal lines going through the image show that sonar signals are dropping out. The instruments aren't detecting them, further calling the measurements into question, Sin says. Finally, he says the edges of the image just beyond the circular formation are gray, meaning the sonar couldn't tell what was there. That shows the sonar isn't calibrated well enough to trust. Scientist Charles Paul of the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, which is a nonprofit oceanographic research center in Moss Landing, California, believes that the sonar image was more likely of a rock outcrop, sediment dropped from a fishing trawl, or even a school of fish. He also says that the formation could be the result of fluid or gas venting. Such venting causes inexplicable and poorly understood structures like pockmarks, circular depressions that Paul himself has seen all around the world. In one area of California alone, he says, he has mapped more than 1,400 such pockmarks. Goran Egberg, a marine archaeologist at Maritime Museum in Stockholm, said a natural geological formation can't be ruled out. I agree that the findings look weird since it's completely circular, but nature has produced stranger things than that, he explains. Martin Jakobsson, professor of marine geology and geophysics at Stockholm University, also examined the image and said, I'm guessing it's some sort of sandstone, but to make things clear, I've only seen the media images and I need more material before making an official statement. Other experts say the image quite possibly shows a grouping of rocks deposited by Ice Age glaciers, or maybe pillow basalt or a moraine. According to Finnish planetary geomorphologist Jarmo Korteniemi, the runway is most likely a natural rock formation, a drumlin, formed by glacial action. Now, a drumlin is an elongated hill in the shape of an inverted spoon or a half-buried egg formed by glacial ice. Jonathan Hill of the Mars Space Flight Facility, a research center in Arizona State University, questioned the motives involved in the OceanX announcements, which included plans to take wealthy tourists in a submarine to visit the site. He said, whenever people make extraordinary claims, it's always a good idea to consider for a moment whether they are personally benefiting from the claim or if it's a truly objective observation. He also suggested that it would have been simple to break off a piece and have it geologically tested, and he said that test results showing it was simply rock would not have benefited Peter Lindbergh, the head of OceanX. Peter Lindbergh himself suggested in a 2019 interview that there may be a possibility for a new expedition via a television production in which they are involved. During 2019, the team has performed 2 low-budget expeditions to the third anomaly, found 40 nautical miles, or around 46 miles, northeast of Anomaly 1 and the subsequent Anomaly 2 that's quite closely adjacent to the original anomaly, the circular-shaped one. During these 2 expeditions, a monolith or a stone slab looking object was the primary target of the expedition. Due to technical issues, the object was not investigated. However, a rectangular-shaped object was found adjacent to the monolith-shaped object. This object turned out to look like low stone walls that had fallen apart. The team claims that the size of this object was 13 meters wide and about 25 meters long. The hired ROV company, ROV stands for Remotely Operated Underwater Vehicle, from Finland, that was helping the OceanX team during these two expeditions, had issues with the compass on the ROV as well as the Teledyne Blue View sonar. OceanX team claims that compass disturbance is something they had noticed before at the Anomaly 1, but also at Anomaly 2 during the earlier expedition carried out in June of 2019. The strong magnetic deviation is considered by the OceanX team as fact. The Finnish ROV pilot explained that the disturbance on the sonar was similar to getting close to a submarine high-voltage cable with a ROV. Dennis Aberg, one of the founders of the OceanX team, in a recent 22 update, said he thinks that the anomaly looks like a man-made symbol and hopes that the team can soon begin a big investigation if they receive the necessary funding. On April 15th of 2022, the OceanX team had published an article on their website that shows a never-before-seen up-close image of the Baltic Sea Anomaly. This image has been taken during the team's second trip to the site on June 6, 2012. The article suggests that from the picture we can see a triangle with a hole. This triangle seems to be situated in the middle of a tile that has a straight upper edge. The article had provided a follow-up image with these features highlighted. Another image has been released by the team depicting what seems to be a brick wall and some sort of a symbol as well. This image has also been taken in June of 2012. A video can be found on the OceanX YouTube channel that shows footage taken from the ROV during the June 2012 expedition. On the video, we can see what seems to be a hole on the surface. However, there is no further explanation provided. There is also a Blue View radar picture available on the YouTube channel. This radar has been attached to the ROV during the June 2012 expedition. The video shows an object with straight lines that connect in a 90-degree angle. Although there have been many theories by scientists, geologists, and experts claiming that the object could be a link in human evolution, or the base of a U-boat or a Nazi ship that drowned during the Cold War, a glacier or a glacial deposit dating to the Ice Age that appeared as a consequence of the glacial thawing process, or the post-glacial processes. However, none of these theories can explain why electric equipment seemed to malfunction near it. According to the researchers, all electronic equipment stops near the unidentified object. Increasingly, some researchers claim that the object is not made of metal, hence it could not be proof of extraterrestrial contact. There are a lot of theories surrounding it. Many hypotheses call it a result of volcanic activity on the Baltic seabed. Others also think it might be a volcano, an asteroid, or a meteorite which fell on the seafloor thousands of years ago. The UFO angle seems to have died down in recent years, and the only two possible theories to explain what the Baltic Sea Anomaly actually is First would be that it's a natural geological formation, and the second would be that it's some sort of a man-made structure that is lost in time. The only question I have after my research is whether or not OceanX lied about their equipment not working when they approached closer than 200 meters towards the original object, the anomaly number 1. It seems that some sort of electrical disturbances had been occurring multiple times during multiple expeditions at this point, and from what OceanX team claims, other parties, such as the Finnish ROV company hired for their 2019 expedition, also experienced some sort of disturbances. That's actually quite unsettling, but then again, I'm not an expert, so I don't know how often these disturbances happen in nature. It's also interesting that now apparently we have anomaly number 1, the circular original anomaly. There's an interesting anomaly close towards that original anomaly, around 200 meters apart, and then around 40 nautical miles away from the original anomaly, there's a third anomaly. So it seems like the OceanX team is now finding more of these anomalies, especially of late. I would be curious to see more information coming out regarding both of these anomalies, both of these locations, and maybe some more in-depth footage. I do believe that with the right funding, we could potentially get to the bottom of this mystery. Until then, I guess we are left to speculate. What do you guys think is the Baltic Sea anomaly?